16 years ago when we started with a guy you might have heard of. We'd like to start with him, the Hawk, Ronnie Hawkins.
He called me up, and I said, sure, I'd like a job. What does it mean? What do I do? He said, well, son, you won't make much money, but you'll get more pussy than Frank Sinatra.
You know, just because we weren't available to the public really wanted us, the promoters really wanted us to play, you know, so at one point it just got ridiculous. I mean, it went from, you know, $2,000 a night to $50,000 a night by the time we played our first shows, you know, so
tune in, turn on, and drop out, that kind of thing, and hate your mom and dad, and don't trust anybody over 30, and a bunch of other stuff that didn't make a lot of sense. And we just, you know, steered clear of all that and tried to keep it on musical terms, and got away with it pretty much, for the most part anyway.
You know, it's so rare with any band that you've got this sort of even distribution of talent. Most bands have one talented guy or girl in them, maybe two. You know, this was a band of which all 5 members contributed something very, very unique.
Richard was always our lead singer, you know, and you know, I always just felt real confident with Richard in the band. I knew that nobody had a better singer in their band than what we had.
Yeah, he was, you know, there was only one Richard, without a doubt. He was a friend of mine I met him before I actually started playing in the band. I met him in 1959. And yeah, he was a party kind of guy, and he sure was one of my favorite singers.
A lot of the times with the band, it was somewhere between real harmonies, and because of our lack of education in music, they would be things that just sounded interesting, or it's what the only thing the person could hit. You know, it was sometimes the limitation of the instrument can provide the originality as well.
How did we come up with a Chinese ending?
I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah?
Yes. Sometimes I draw the parallel between the band and Duke Ellington's orchestra. Because in Duke Ellington's orchestra there were special sounds like Johnny Hodges' tenor sax and Harry Carney's baritone sax and Cootie Williams' trumpet and Lawrence Brown's trombone. They were just special distinctive sounds that Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn and the other arrangers were able to pull out and use. And the band was the same way in rock music.
I wanted the songs to be built around the songs themselves, and whatever I played or whatever anybody else played on the songs, it was really just to say, we are playing this song.
When we would get a piece of a song or an idea for a song, we'd take it as far as we could, then we would start swapping it around. Different ones of us would sing the lead. And then we would back up and start it again, and somebody else would sing the lead, and that's how we determined really who would sing the lead and who would sing the harmonies on our songs.
They were doing things with harmonies again that it almost didn't feel like they needed to blend octaves. You felt that they just sang in unison, and their voices were so distinct that they just automatically went into the right place.
Oh, Virgin, we Richard's going up on top, and I'm doing the tonic. Rest of my years, and Rick's tying it together. Rick's in the middle tying it together, but Richard has got the ability to.
Well, we were the Hawks.
And everything was fine. We were sailing along, and all of a sudden one day the Hawks meant something else altogether.
And it was right in the middle of that whole psychedelia. In a chocolate subway, marshmallow overcoat, right. Those kind of names, you know.
When we were working with Bob Dylan, and we moved to Woodstock, everybody referred to us as the band. He called us the band, our friends called us the band, our neighbors called us the band.
And we started out with the Crackers. We tried to call ourselves the Honkies. No, everybody kind of backed off from that. You know. It was too straight. You know. So we decided just to call ourselves the band.
Just feeling about half-past dead. Just need to find a place where I can lay my head. Mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand.